All right. I'm pleased with where we're at. Obviously, there's a heck of a lot of work to be done. We just finished a 5-day stretch, which is hard. You know, it's hard at the beginning of camp, no matter how hard these guys train, lift, run. Football's different. And pleased that we got 5 straight in before I give them a break tomorrow. No major injuries. Guys are working really hard. We're cutting down on the mistakes. You could tell by the open practice you guys were at Tuesday or Saturday. Definitely a bit sloppy each and every day. It's getting cleaner, getting better. Still quite a bit of work to do, but I love the way these guys are working, and I feel good about this team.
Mark, you said no major injuries. Is there anybody bruised up or might not be available in the next few days?
I don't think right off the top of my head. There's a few. We'll see. I mean, there's nothing to report. Let's put it that way. Yeah, there's always going to be bumps and bruises, and a couple guys. We're not 100% out there at practice right now, but nothing that I see long term.
Have the running backs' roles changed? It looked like they were doing a lot more out there on Saturday.
Roles changed as far as
catching passes, lining
well,
up
of course. I mean, it's a different system. So for sure, we'll be different and utilized differently. We have different run plays that you probably noticed. So it's definitely different.
What do you like about Jatan's play so far?
Well, Jatan, as I mentioned throughout the spring, through spring and the first 5, generally is very good with catching the football, making some plays out of the backfield. And, he does a lot of things well. To be honest with you, he's a pretty complete player, so he's doing a good job.
Any of the young guys, true freshmen, stand out to you so far this week on practices?
I think, it's always a little early for me to say that and put those on guys, and start naming names. I really like the group. I know that gets boring. Everybody wants to grab onto something, but the group is really good and working hard. They're going to help us. I think the receiver group in general, we needed that to be a good group, and they are. And so I'm pleased with that.
How was Isaiah taken to tight end?
Very natural, surprisingly natural. Not there yet, but has he has that understanding and he fits in better than I thought he would earlier. So that's been really good to see. It's nice to in this system a little different than we were a year ago as far as the run game and utilizing the tight ends, which is good. And without getting into too much detail, you don't need to be that all the time be that 6'5", 260-pound tight end. So just with the way we block and with the outside zone and not having to dig out these SEC defensive linemen all day long, it's a little different, and you could utilize somebody as athletic as he is.
And Marcus Harris got some starts last year, and obviously it was in practice. You all like what you starting, but things didn't seem to click. Do you think he's got a reset now? Like he looked pretty good. Talk about him.
We'll see. I mean, I noticed a couple plays today that I liked him working some one-on-ones and getting some press coverage and making some plays. So that was good to see. Just off the top of my head, Lonnie, but he's another guy that's been steady, and hopefully we'll take another step.
Liam was supposed to be here today.
I think he's coming over.
He's coming. Yeah, he'll be here.
Just want to make sure he's still here.
You tired of seeing me?
I gave him a couple more.
You haven't seen me for a couple days.
Mark, what about your young guys on the defensive line? How are they showing up so far?
They are. Mark Quan's been out until today with something with an issue that's getting cleared up now, and so we expect him back with no problems. But with that, the young guys got a bunch of reps at nose, and are really doing a good job in like that redshirt freshman class or the second-year guys, really doing a good job. The true freshman D lineman got the length we're looking for, really long, which we needed because that sophomore class or second-year class, were really good players, but they didn't have the length sometimes that we like.
To John's point, though, you normally come out here unexpectedly to give us some bad news. Do you just like your team?
Well, I mean, I didn't know I was not supposed to come over here today. I mean, you know what I mean? So
You don't realize what kind of red flag it was.
I really thought you guys just wanted to see me.
We did.
So
We
that's
really
all.
did.
Yeah. So,
Vito, Brad talked some about him on Friday after you
Yeah.
spoke, and it kind of maybe poured some water, not poured some water on him so much, because you've been very complimentary of him in the past, and he was making some plays on Saturday. I guess how do you, he talked about reining him in and just kind of controlling his. Yeah, how do you see that working out?
You know, he did get he got a little injury. He'll be back, but you know, just one of those effort plays on yesterday, I guess it was, that he got a little bit dinged up. But you know, Vito, he's going to be a very good football player. All players are different, you know, with the way they learn, with the way they play, you know, the way they act, and so, you know, he's definitely alive, and he plays that way. I think you guys can see that, and you know, I don't want to say anything. It's not in a bad way. It's just sometimes off the field you got to make sure he's in line as well. You know what I mean? But he's been no issues. I mean, so you know, he's getting better, and you know, can be a very good football player.
How about is he one of those better to say whoa than giddy up?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's one of those, without a doubt.
It looked like Joel Williams was working at the outside linebacker group too, doing some of the same stuff as Vito. Just kind of has he fit in.
He is. He's playing. You know what? You know, in our package, that's a you know what we call a medium package. It's not a true nickel package. It's what we could run on first, second down with big people or 5 DBs, like we do with Vito or Joel or D-Rob. And D-Rob did quite a bit of that 2 years ago, you know, prior to his injury. And so, you know, we have that ability. You know, we're you know, with JJ down, we're a touchdown at outside backer, and we have some DBs with a lot of experience that could do some things. So we just got to use the talent the best way we can.
Mark,
Have you
what have you
seen any-
seen from Roosevelt so far?
He's going to be a good player. You know, I feel like there is very athletic. He looks different in his pads. You know, because you know when you come in, he's got that length. You know, but you put the pads on him, and he plays a little bit more physical than maybe you know when you see him without his pads on. You know, he's a long guy, very athletic. Definitely going to help us.
Have you seen consistency from any of the quarterbacks?
You know, I don't want to make too many comments. Too many people read into all that. You know, I think like you would expect through 5 practices, some guys will, you know, each of them are having their moments where it's like, wow, really good, and then they're making some mistakes. So, you know, we'll continue to evaluate it, but I think all the guys are playing good, and I mean it. I'm not just saying that. Down the line, you know, we seem to talk about the top 3, but there's some other guys down the line there that are going to be really good players, and they're doing some good things.
Did you expect
Rashawn Lewis
what
had
you
a
saw?
really good Saturday. Were you surprised at all by that? And,
Who?
and where, Rashawn Lewis? Where do you sort of put expectations for a guy like that?
You know, we'll just continue to bring him along. He's showing up quite a bit, you know, which is really good. You know, that's a position that we need somebody to show up and make plays. He's doing that. He's been consistent, so I like that. You know,
Has he been doing that just here in practice, or is he just a gamer because the fans were there?
Well, no, he's done it in practice as well. Yeah, he's been pretty good, pretty consistent.
What brought him
I was
here?
going to ask him.
Good. Okay. Good.
What brought him here, Coach? Lewis. What brought him up from the left?
I don't know. We got fortunate with Lonnie. He's a good player. We recruited him. He was open, so all I know is he's here.